It's now time for our special this week. Everybody is talking about how food and Indians have become huge foodies. We have Rocky, of course, in studio with us. He's the anchor of Highway on My Plate. But before that, the people who some say have started it all off, masterchefs from Australia, giving Trending This Week the special interview. Take a look. Welcome to a very special edition of Hashtag, and our guests on the show, we have Gary and George from MasterChef Australia. Thanks very much. First trip to India. I want your first food impressions about the...
Hang on a minute. Second trip to India, first trip to India. Got to get it right.
Got to get it right.
Are you an Indian food pro?
No, absolutely not. And I think what's been lovely over the last 6-7 days is we've jam-packed so many food experiences that have been mind-blowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to ask you about those meals, but first of all, I mean, MasterChef is a new show. How is it that you come to a store and you do an event and you have people like outside shouting your names? They're like rock stars.
Not really a new show. You know, actually, we've done 8 series. We've done 4 main series, done a couple of junior. We've done All Stars and Celebrity. So it's sort of a well-oiled machine these days. And it's certainly, in Australia, for example, it's the highest rating show of all time, ever. Landing on the moon, Olympics.
But see, here's the thing about India. India was known as, you know, a lot of people said that people in Delhi, they like, we have a huge variety of cuisines, but people like the safe foods. Do you think that's changing all over the place?
I don't think there's safe foods in India. I think you're pretty adventurous, you know, let's be honest. And I think what I've learned since I've been in India is they keep telling me no such thing as Indian food. It's all about the regionality, and you've got to know what the difference is between the north, the east, the west, the south. And I'm starting to learn, which is fascinating. But I do, in all honesty, I love South Indian food. That's one well before I came here. So.
And you've been to South India?
No. That's the next trip, but I love South Indian food, and we live our travels, don't we, through food.
Yeah, and George, what was your last trip like? Were you?
By
the way, since your last trip, have you become a bigger star? You recognized much more since last time?
Definitely. Yeah. Last time I came here, no one knew who I was. Yeah. But now that I came, you know, I was blown away. I mean, this afternoon I was in Old Delhi, eating the most amazing slow cooked.
Where did you go? Kareem.
I can't tell you exactly. Okay. The street address wasn't on the signpost, but slow cooked sweet potato with tamarind and lemon.
Even I haven't had that.
And it was mind blowing. Yeah. You need to try it.
Really?
You live here.
You need to discover Indian cooking. She needs to discover Indian cooking.
I think the reason why, I don't know whether it's the reason why the reason why I identify with MasterChef is because there's so many Indian people on the show. How come?
It's just culturally diverse. I think most people don't realise that 1 in 4 Australians were born outside of Australia. Okay. So if you look at our society as a snapshot, it's changed enormously in the last 30 and in the last 20 years. So when we pluck, you know, a sample of our public, and we put them on television, that's what you get. Somebody from Singapore, somebody from Greece, somebody from Malta, somebody from India. The list goes on.
But would you say that the food over here, what you're having, and the Indian food you get in Australian restaurants must be hugely different?
Totally different, and that's what's exciting. It's you know, it's going to take a couple of chefs to come to Australia, or some that have lived in Australia, come over here and come back to really drive it, because your food is really beautiful. You know, we hear a lot of comments, but you know, can we plate it up differently to make it look better? Yeah. You don't need to. Just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe change the bowl that you put it in, or the environment slightly. It's so soulful and so delicious.
But isn't it true that a lot of would you say it's as sophisticated as perhaps French food and things like that?
It's probably more complicated.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you've got to realise is that in Europe and France and Britain were highly influential, okay? So you look at the modern industrialised world, and they are the big countries, and so they're the things that people aspire to eat, right? India, it's about time. Get a move on.
But tell me something, Britain is known for the place where Indian curry is their national food. Is that becoming the thing in Australia as well?
No, not yet. It's like George says, it needs somebody who's a groundbreaker, somebody who wants to challenge some basic ideas. We've got a couple of famous Indian chefs in Australia, but we're eating a lot of northern Indian food. We're not getting...
So the southern one that you love.
Yeah, we're not getting that. And remarkably, that's the thing, you know, it's the diversity is what Australians love. We love crunch, we love heat, you know, salt, sour,
Indian
sweet.
Accent is a perfect example of modern Indian cuisine that is really
one
delicious.
in Delhi.
Yeah.
You love that.
Love that.
Would you say that's the best right now? They're probably loving the fact that you're plugging the rest.
It was wonderful. We were blown away. What an experience. And the chef is such a lovely man, very generous and very creative. What more can you say?
Well, I want to ask you something, which, you know, we've seen you do Junior MasterChef. Why is it that children love you so much?
Because we're cute.
Cuddly.
And we're cuddly. How's that?
But is cooking associated? We wouldn't in India. children don't usually
Food's
seem to be...
changed. Food's changed. A lot's changed in Australia in the last 20 years. I arrived from the UK in '91 into Australia, and so much has moved on. I mean, in terms of what you can buy, what the farms are growing, what the chefs are asking for, and what everybody's asking for in the supermarkets. And it's gone from being something that wasn't cool, particularly for a boy, like why you a cook, why you a chef, to something that's, you know, uber cool. You know, you look at people like Marco Pierre White, Heston Blumenthal, you know,
But
René
is it safe
Redzepi.
for children to be running around kitchens?
Why
Yeah.
not? What's wrong with kitchens?
Why, do you
nothing
think they're
wrong
not
with
careful?
kitchens. There's nothing wrong with kitchens. What I'm going to say is we've loved our time here and we thank you so much for letting us come on your show.
So that's the boys from MasterChef in India, in Delhi, signing out. Boom, boom, shake the room. Cut.
That was fun. Gary and George, they have... What we are asking, of course, is have we become a nation of foodies? Well, there's no bigger foodie than Rocky, who's here in the studio. What did you think? What's interesting is that I'm not that much of a foodie, and but how is it that you have chefs coming here from Australia, and people are, you know, out there, they're rock stars, really. When did chefs become such rock stars?
Chefs have always been rock stars.
We didn't know it, yeah.
You're just in the wrong crowd.
Okay.
You have to be in the big eating crowd, and those two are very good because they're honest.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot of things that they said. But we Indians have always been food mad. I mean, if you think of your grandfather.
That's true.
You know,
but chefs being, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we've had our little secrets tucked away regionally everywhere else. But now the sort of internet revolution, media is all bringing it together. And those little secrets are beginning to pop up from all over the country. And we've got such treasures of food all across this country. It is incredible. The day Indian food finds a flat platform where everything is able to be served simultaneously, we're just going to explode. This is the beginning of the explosion.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.